me in the studio is the Egyptian ambassador to London, Mr. Kamal Rifat. You heard what General Dayan said there, that you started the war. Ambassador, why did Egypt do this?
To the best of my knowledge, anyhow, that the Israelis started the war and the aggression since 1967.
But did they start it, are you saying they started it this time? Or did Egypt start it this time?
And they started it yesterday when they launched their attacks on the Suez Gulf, on the area of Sukhna and Zafarana.
And the Israelis are saying quite categorically that you started it this time, and they say that they would never start a war on Yom Kippur, on one of their holiest days.
No, I want to mention one important thing. When the Israelis said so, we are defending ourselves, our security on our own lands, that is in Sinai. Sinai, all of it is our own lands. So we are defending our rights, defending ourselves in our own land, not on Israeli lands.
So are you saying then that if you did start the attack, it was because it was your own territory?
We started crossing the canal after the Israelis attacked our positions in the Suez Gulf. Yesterday.
But you were the first to attack on the canal itself?
Yes, of course. It's all these places are our own land.
Yes. Ambassador, now, finally, can you tell me what do you think is going to be the conclusion of this war? There you are, your force is supposed to be cut off tonight on the East Bank. How do you see it finishing?
Anyhow, if, as the Israelis said, that they will cut off our troops in the Sinai desert, but our troops are fighting in its own land, in Sinai itself.
And you don't intend to withdraw?
Why they will withdraw? They will fight. They will push it ahead.
Ambassador, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Earlier, Mr. Rifat, the ambassador, and the 18 ambassadors of the other Arab states in London discussed the latest developments in the Middle East.
These convoys of armored track vehicles have been moving up the road out of Israel towards the Sinai desert. This is the beginning of the desert now. We're told that another convoy of armored tracks and tanks and ammunition will be moving up here tonight. They're pouring more and more troops and vehicles into the Suez Canal area. Today, the strategy of the Israelis down in the Sinai has become clearer. According to their spokesman, military spokesman, the strategy of the Israelis has been to allow the Egyptians to cross the canal.
From dawn this morning, the Israeli and Syrian armies have been slugging it out here high up on the Golan Mountains. The Syrians have been attempting to dig in and consolidate the gains they made on Saturday, the Israelis to dislodge them with airstrikes, heavy artillery and tanks. This particular Syrian counterattack petered out a little after 11 o'clock when the Syrian tanks pulled back towards the frontier, pursued by the Israeli centurions. But the Israelis are conceding that this occasion the Syrians are not proving to be a pushover, that they're fighting with more spirit than the Israelis have ever found them have before. And the Israelis are saying that it's not going to be easy to get them back over the Syrian frontier. Gerald Seymour, News at 10 in the Golan Heights.
We are now 1 hour's drive into the Sinai desert, and that's as far as the military here will allow us to go. They do not want newsmen reporting on the war at first hand, and that's usually a clear indication that the Israelis are having a much harder time, fighting much harder to maintain their positions.
The first stage of this war was their attack and our defense. We managed to stop the attacking forces, the Egyptian and the Syrian forces, after approximately 30 hours. That's to say that we managed to stop the attacking forces yesterday evening. We mobilized our reserves, we have organized them, and this morning we started our counterattack. We started with the counterattack on both fronts, on the Golan Heights and along the Suez Canal. I am glad to tell you that we managed to push almost all of the Syrian forces to the ceasefire line, and some of the Egyptian forces, although still there are some Egyptian forces on this side of the Suez Canal. We are now in the middle of the battles. We continue our counterattack. We shall continue it tomorrow, and we shall break and destroy completely all the attacking forces. I have to tell you that our regular forces, the Air Force, the armor units, and other fighting units put a stiff fight at the first stage, which is known as the heavy battle, as the heavy defense. And because of their standard, because of their spirit and fighting ability, we managed to stop the attack. We managed to stop the attack, and we managed to start the counterattack. If there are some questions, please.
General, is it true that you have...
Please, we'll take them one by one.
General, is it true that you have crossed the West Bank?
What do you mean the West Bank? You mean the Suez Canal?
Yes.
The canal.
Not yet. Three Egyptian bridgeheads one near Kantara, the central bridgehead, and the northern, the central bridgehead near Ismailia, and the southern bridgehead near Suez, the town of Suez. They managed to send some forces from these bridgeheads into Sinai. We attacked today all these three bridgeheads, and we limited to a great extent the area which was captured by the Egyptian forces. Still, they are Egyptian forces in these bridgeheads, but we managed to surround them, and we managed to concentrate our armor around the bridgeheads.
Is it true that your troops are moving towards Damascus?
Is it true that the troops are moving towards Damascus?
The troops are moving from our territories against the other side. We shall see in the next days the directions and the results.
Both the Israeli and Egyptian armies have now sealed off the battle area between the Suez Canal and the Sinai Desert, making it difficult to assess the true state of the fighting. But since that fighting began, over the last 4 days, both sides have continued to issue a stream of confident and optimistic communiques. But at their base camps on the road to the disputed town of Kantara, the Israelis are clearly building up for what they see as the decisive counterattack.
After 4 days, it's doubtful now that this war will end quite as quickly as the Israeli High Command has been predicting. In the Golan Heights, the flow of armor and troops up the single road that leads to the front line is unending. So much ammunition passed us today that the Israelis must be using their artillery non-stop in their effort to push the Syrians back. The backup provided by the Israeli Air Force Mirage and Phantom jet fighters is proving vital to the army's advance on land. But according to Damascus radio today, the Israelis are paying high for it. The Syrians say they've shot down more than 40 planes and captured 8 pilots. Israeli Akak is situated all along the heights, but since last Saturday no Syrian plane has been sighted.
and after today's attacks on Syrian airfields, the Israeli jets now dominate the sky. All today, the Syrians had been shelling the road that leads up to the heights, firing, we were told, from 15 miles away. They were trying to stop Israeli ammunition and troop trucks getting through, and they succeeded. After one narrowly escaped being blown up, the convoys were ordered to turn around. It was a perfect example of the kind of war this is, shell against shell, with the two armies 15 miles apart. To add to their own artillery power, the Israelis have brought up more of their tanks and their 105mm guns. They too had to run the gauntlet of the Syrian shells before they could reach their units high up on the Golan Heights.
According to the local field commanders here, the Syrians have now been forced to retreat back across the ceasefire line. And the same commanders say Israeli tanks and troops are chasing them. Well, if that is true, then it bears out a predicament made last night by the Israeli Chief of Staff, General Al-Azhar, who said that if his troops did cross over the ceasefire line, then they would move in many directions and possibly chase the Syrians right up to Damascus, if that was necessary to destroy their war potential. Well, within the next day or so, we'll know whether or not he was joking. Michael Nicholson, News at 10 on the Golan Heights.